in Lagos State House of Assembly and Chairman Committee on Environment in the 7th Lagos State House of Assembly. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Joseph Folorunsho, my colleague who conducted the interview. Please listen and enjoy.
Why you gonna be fear? Say one day I go this baby, why you
Security and you.
It's my pleasure.
We are discussing issue of noise pollution and human health. Every activities of man in one way or the other affects his health. Today we want to look at the issue of noise pollution. Lagos is a city and every country have a way of regulating the activities in the city. How do you think we could be able to look at issue of noise pollution in Lagos State and with the help of Lagosians?
Well, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Noise generally could be viewed as anything that obstructs a line of communication. And you know, if you were to talk to people, when it becomes unbearable for that person, it becomes noise. And you know, anything noise bring disturbance. And anything called disturbance will affect you socially, will affect you physically, and may even affect person spiritually, including the health of that person. So when we say health pollutions affect the health, that is true. It affects the brain, and when it affects your brain, it triggers some reactions, and which has made a lot of people to suffer hearing problem due to persistent noise pollution. It has made some people to develop high blood pressure, which has started to affect their living and the way they relate. And you know, in most cases, when people are disturbed, maybe you are sleeping and unnecessary noise come around you, you wake up. There's tendency for you to develop headache. And when you develop headache, it will affect your body chemistry. You may not be able to sleep very well. And if you are not able to sleep very well, you may develop fever. And in some cases, you discover that it affects your well-being. You understand? So noise is not too good for us. It's not too good for our environment. And you know, in Lagos State in particular, you discovered that it has indirectly become our ways of living, where you see commercial bus drivers playing music with their horn, either knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. You discover that when you are walking on a road, within 2 poles, you can hear more than 10 horns. In Lagos State, you discover that the motorbike riders, popularly called Okada, they will put sound system in their motorbike and they will be playing it loud around Lagos, disturbing the peace of the people. You will discover that in the evening, most cases, these cassette sellers, they will park their vehicle at the middle of the road or by the roadside. They will put musical equipment on top of the car and they will be playing the music. They will put generator there. You know, all these are nuisance. They are noise pollution. Apart from the one we're witnessing that comes from the generator or from industries, we equally cause some ourselves. Like in some houses, you discover that you wake up on Sundays, a man will just wake up around 5 o'clock and start playing music aloud, as if he's entertaining the whole world, disturbing the peace of other inhabitants. There are some religious-based organizations too that site their church closer to where people live. They were doing net video. They will put a very high velocity speaker outside the confines of their church, as if the whole community are doing the vigil with them. So somebody who doesn't normally have a very sound sleep, you wake that person up, the person will not be able to sleep, and the person has to go to office the second day. You see the effect on such person's health. So until we're able to regulate the way we do things in a way that it will affect peaceful coexistence, peaceful living in an environment, we will continue to have problem related to noise pollution, like hearing problem, like persistent headache, which tantamounts to developing high blood pressure, which might give others partial stroke. You understand? So those are part of what we call health pollution that we are witnessing in our society.
So you mentioned the issue of regulation. You are a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly representing Ekpe Constituency 1. Immediately you are in the house, we have to fight for the well-being of every Lagosian, yes, not only your constituency. What is the way out of this issue? Because like where I live, some of these churches, immediately you call them and say, no, what you are doing is disturbing to me. They say maybe you are an unbeliever or the spirit of the devil is disturbing the person. You do think the government can do to help us out in this issue?
Yes, thank you very much. The Lagos State government enacted a law that established LASEPA, Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency. And LASEPA has saddled with the responsibility to ensure that Lagos is free from any form of pollution, be it water pollution, be it air pollution, be it noise pollution. And the section 198 of that LASEPA law empowers them to make regulations on curbing noise pollution in Lagos State. So what this house has succeeded in doing recently was to pass a resolution telling the governor of the Lagos State government to empower LASEPA to come up with the regulations that will regulate noise pollution in Lagos State, and that it give them all necessary enforcement tool to ensure that people comply with that regulation, at least knocking noise pollution to the barest minimum. So if you tell them and they said you are unbeliever, tell them too that God is not deaf. If we pray gently to God, God will hear our prayer. We need not to use that avenue because we want to talk to God and now start disturbing the peace of others. Islamic faith has its part of it in Quran, that do your own religion and let me do my own religion. Your own religion will not affect mine, nor will mine affect you. So if you are not doing your own religion in a way that is affecting others, you are only trying to cause problem within the community. So morally, we should know that it's wrong to disturb the peace of others because we want to enjoy some relationship with God. Because everybody has his way of doing their things. If you are doing your own, you are using it to disturb me, and I start using my own to disturb you. How do we enjoy peace? God will not be happy with us. So morally, legally, we have enacted a law that empower LASEPA to deal with anybody that violates regulations as contained in the law that established LASEPA. You understand? So the Lagos State government is going to come out stronger on people that create or constitute nuisance in our society, be it through your business venture, be it through your social interactions, be it through your religious belief, or any form of ways of disturbing the peace or peaceful coexistence within our society. The Lagos State government will no longer condone it because we need to live a healthy life. See what is obtainable in advanced world. You hardly see anybody blaring on horns indiscriminately. In US alone, over 30 million people were prosecuted within a twinkle of 2 years on the issue of noise pollution. So how many people have been prosecuted here? No. So if they are prosecuted, some people jailed or fined, we will learn to do things minimally, so that other people too will enjoy living in an environment without any encumbrance.
On the implementation that you just mentioned, by you will give a matching order to the executive to make sure that they enforce this law. Do you have a time frame for you to get result from them?
But sincerely yours, I must tell you, we did that thing on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Monday that we passed that resolution? The general manager LASEPA called me yesterday. They have set up machinery to start with, and they will go all out to clamp down on pollutants. I mean, those who pollute the environment with noise. So they should be ready. We are to make law, we are to make regulations for them to implement. And I believe those who are to implement are getting ready because we have charged them and we have given them all the necessary legal framework to work with. So I'm expecting results in the next few weeks. Positive results. and Lagosians will testify to that.
Let's go to some industrial pollution. Some of the industrial pollution from generator is as a result of some of these companies site factory in some residential area, and this become a problem to people that live in this very place. Looking at the house, looking at some of these issues, which are still part of issue that cause noise pollution.
I must tell you that Lagos, we are looking inwardly, critically, to ensure that things are done normal. In the past, people of site industry were supposed to be a residential area. There were industrial access across the states. That if you want to site an industry, you were supposed to go and site your industry. But because things were not properly regulated, some people have been able to site their industry in a residential area, thereby causing problem to the people. Not only because of noise, there are some emission that comes from the industry that pollute the environment that were not supposed to be inhaled by individuals living around that industry. All these are inimical. And some of people have been able to site their industry without environmental impact assessment, which is necessary before they start the industry. So Lagos State government is going to look at it globally, and we shall be appealing to our people to bear with us, so that some people's interests might be trampled upon. You understand? Things cannot be the same continuously all over again and again. So if you are having an industry where it's residential area, it's better we move. Some people are bringing their church closer to where people stay. And I want to tell you, some people, either in the church or mosque, have even turned it to business venture, where they were operating is as if they are operating an enterprise. You understand? All these things, we need to look at it without necessarily using the hand of law. Law are meant for men, not men meant for law. So we need to obey the rules, the laid down rules, so that we can have a peaceful environment. But globally, Lagos State government will be looking in that area, and they'll be looking in that direction. And that is why they've poked some industries that were located where residential areas are, and they have been able to stop some. Even some were able to site tank farm closer to where people reside. So we've been able to tell them, move your tank farm to another place, so as not to disturb the peace of inhabitants, of your neighbors. You understand? So Lagos State government is going to look at it globally, and we've been looking at it, we've been working on it, and it's a continuous process. Now we're talking of the noise pollution. If you are polluting the environment, they stop you. You either close your company or move it to where it will not disturb the peace of people living in the neighborhood. So we are working on that, and we will not relent.
Let me take you to another area. There are some areas in Lagos, the activities of aviation affect noise in that very, like some places in Ikeja, Agege, that when a flight is coming in, and when it is going out, Jigbo and the rest of that. Are we looking at the Lagos Assembly putting the head of these people into consideration by maybe making some law to see how form of compensation, or but in some civilized country the government find a way to maybe give some incentive to people that is being affected? Are we looking at the house, trying to look at
this? Is a global phenomenon. Airline routes. The question is, how many of these people have building approved plan where they build a house? This airport has been in existence for quite a long time, and you will see people attaching their building to the airport. Is this what is obtainable in advanced world? Do they get the approval to live there? You understand? So for the meantime, we need to bear with us. You understand? You said you cannot ask them to move away from that place. Then do we go and reset to those who did not have approved building plan to erect their houses along the aircraft line? You understand? So it's neither here nor there. So we need to cope and come to understand we have to protect the life, property, health of our people. But our people too must be ready to protect their lives themselves without necessarily somebody who must come to equity must come with a clean hand, and equity did not win, it volunteers. So if they have volunteer to perpetually enjoy noise by building their house attached to the airport, well, it's unfortunate. You understand? So the Lagos State House of Assembly will not go and move them away. You understand? But maybe in future, Lagos State government may look for ways. But don't forget, it's a national phenomenon. You understand? So we may have a little...
So I know it's a national phenomenon, but we are so lucky for this very administration. The Lagos is in line with the federal government.
Yes.
Because I believe the House can equally talk to the federal government, and these are the issue. What can you help about?
How willing are our people? Would they not say we are coming to move them away from their house? Have they complained there is noise that is disturbing them? That is why I said Equity did not hate volunteers. So some of them have volunteered to live in that place, despite they were not given approval to live there. But our own is just to make sure we protect them. We will try within our reach to make sure that we protect them as much as practicable. But for the meantime, there are still other very biting and teething issues that Lagosians are battling with, than for us to now take national responsibilities. But like we are saying, we work on it towards future, and to say that henceforth our people don't build houses closer to airports because of the noise that comes from aircraft. You understand? So that's just it.
A lot of security personnel, they blow their siren indiscriminately. What do you think the House can do about that? And secondly, the sound of a gunshot is about a minimum of 120 decibel, which is not proper for the human ear. What do you think the House can do? One, to regulate unnecessary blowing of siren, which is the former governor, the Excellency Governor Raji Fashola San, throughout his tenure, he didn't blow siren throughout. But you see some people that they are not the number 2 or number 6 citizen of the state, they blow siren all over. Then secondly, in line with it is, you see some policemen releasing bullets just to the air, where there are some minors. What do you think the state government can do about this? They have some negative effect on the health of the people.
Like they tell us, power corrupt, absolute power corrupt, absolutely. Nigerian police, we are clamoring that they should train and retrain them to be more civil in their approach. The president governor of the state, Akinmi Ambode, don't use siren. And it has been outlawed. Except there is emergency, nobody should use siren. But you know, Nigerian police will take one way. Nigerian police will blow siren on a single thing. And when you look at them, you will discover that they are other ranks. Not even the ones that have blood. You understand what I'm trying to say? They are not an officers. You understand? So they were not informed. Or they were trying to pretend as if they did not know. So until we train and retrain them, we use this opportunity to call on the Inspector General of Police to warn his officers to obey the rules. Don't use siren. The essence of don't use siren is not to cause panic or apprehension within the society, or not to cause noise or pollution unnecessarily. And that is why if the governor of the state, who happens to be the chief executive officer of that state, the chief security officer of that state, the number 1 citizen, refuse to blow siren, I don't see how an individual or an officer who is to serve and protect us should be violating that rule. But who are you to confront a man with a gun when you are with Biro? One who just lost his life. That is why I said power corrupt, absolute power corrupt, absolutely. So we only need to call those police to order so that they should be wary. And for those who use gun indiscriminately, they have succeeded in killing some innocent people around the country because they are trigger shy, and some of them drink before they carry gun. All this, they are sign of uncivilized police officers. So the Inspector General of Police has made it clear that police should be well trained, should be well informed, and they should conduct themselves in a civil manner. You understand? So until they were able to, we will get there. We're having a president who is trying to restructure this country, who are trying to put things in a proper perspective. Maybe for those officers who have been there, or for those people who have been at the helms of affairs, who have been using police to perpetuate some evil, erroneous acts. But this one I've said no. It's a retired general. I will not tolerate gross indiscipline. Those are part of what we can call gross indiscipline. So we should be more civil, we should be more disciplined, we should be ready to obey the rule. Laws are made for people, not people made for law. So
my last question is on the activities of VIO. You mentioned that our vehicle cause some noise and the rest of them. Some of the function of the VIO, maybe a vehicle that the silencer is making a lot of noise. You're supposed to maybe either call the driver to order. But people say that the VIO will leave some of these. They look at a very nice car. Those are the cars they actually disturb. As an honorable of Lagos House of Assembly, what message are you passing to this organization to help check noise pollution?
First and foremost, the owner of the vehicles know their vehicles are not bad. They are not roadworthy. I said law are made for people. Until we learn to obey, there has been a rule, there has been a lay down. If your vehicle is smoking, don't carry it. If your vehicle is rickety, don't carry it. Stay standard. But you know Nigeria, they want to cut corner. So where the problem lies is for those officers who are heading them and abating. When we make law, we are not to go and implement. But it's now for those officers who are going to implement to make sure they do it for the sake of the nation. In UK, when the Inspector General of Police was accused, he willingly resigned. Non-Nigerian police, they want to get rid of the accuser. You understand? Or circumvent the procedures. This is the time for change. Change is imminent. Everybody are becoming alert to their responsibilities. Soldiers are waking up from their slumbers. Police are becoming very, very conscious. They know the president is incorruptible. If you are caught doing anything that is heinous or very criminal, apart from dismissing you, you will be prosecuted. Using this opportunity to call on the VIO to make sure they follow the rules or the law that established them to later, and make sure they implement those side aspects that affect unserviceable vehicle on our road. That's my advice.
If you're just joining us, you're tuned into Unilag 103.1 FM, and that was the interview with Honorable Abiodun Tobo, member representing the constituency, Ekwa Constituency 1, Lagos State House of Assembly. Now, for those of you who